The today's topic is asymmetric key cryptography, ASM. So we already discussed all of the mathematics related to the ASM, like the prime congruence, Chinese remainder theorem, like that. So I will discuss what are the algorithms under the asymmetric key cryptography. So before going, just we have to understand the symmetric key cryptography. SKM, SKC लिख रही हूँ मैं इसको, ठीक है? SKM छोड़ लेती हूँ. So SKM symmetric key cryptography is based on the shared secrecy. But ASM, that is asymmetric key cryptography, is based on the private secrecy. So for the communication, symmetric key cryptography is based on only one single key, that is called the shared key, and that shared key is common to both of the entities for the sender and the receiver. That the encryption process uses the same secret key and the decryption process also uses the same secret key. But for the asymmetric key cryptography, to perform the encryption and decryption, it uses two types of key. So asymmetric key cryptography uses two keys. The first one is called the public key. And the second one is called private key. And this public and private key we used that is associated with the receiver only. So that is the part that most of the student will get confused, because the next topic, digital signature, will doing this process on the vice versa perspective. So just listen properly what I'm trying to say, that initial asymmetric cryptography basic encryption and decryption algorithm is associated with the receiver's public key and the private key. There is no need of the sender's public and the private key. Only we have to use the receiver's public key and the receiver's private key. So this public key of the receiver is used in the encryption process that is performed by the sender, and this private key is used in the decryption process at the receiver side. This encryption will use the public key of the receiver, and the decryption process will use private key of the receiver. There is no role of the sender's public and the private key. Only there is a role of receiver's public key and the receiver's private key. So because as the name indicates, the public key, the receiver's public key is known by all, in fact the attacker also. So once it is encrypted by using the public key, it can be decrypted only by using the private key. ठीक है? So ऐसे नहीं है कि public key अगर receiver की किसी को पता है तो वो कोई भी उसको decrypt कर देगा. No, because the decryption process uses different key. And an entity which having the private key only, it is able to decrypt the ciphertext and fetches the plain text. So the public key is known by all, but the private key is secret. Private key is only having with the receiver entity, such that only receiver can decrypt the message and understand the content of the message. So it is receiver oriented. So ciphertext is the function of two things. The first one is receiver's public key and the sending message, that is the plain text. And at the decryption side, the plain text will be generated by applying the decryption algorithm that using the private key of the receiver and the arriving ciphertext. So the first algorithm under the asymmetric key cryptography that is widely used, that is called the RSA crypto system. So asymmetric key cryptography is also known as public key cryptography. So RSA crypto system, what is RSA? Actually, Rivest, R for Rivest, S for Shamir, and A for Edelman. They are the inventors of RSA crypto system, public key cryptography. So with the name of the inventors, this algorithm is stated, that is RSA crypto system. So just understand the RSA crypto system with the use of one diagram that I am always taking with the help of Alice and Bob, two entities. So this is your Alice. So just like in the symmetric cryptography, there is one Alice and there is one Bob. Two entities are involved. Now Alice wants to send one message that is called plain text. Because my channel is not secured, so I have to apply the encryption algorithm over there. So RSA crypto system says that my encryption algorithm will apply the formula to generate the ciphertext. That is, we have to take the plain text to the power E and mod n. What is E here? E is the public key of the receiver. That is Bob. Now, this is the encryption algorithm over the sender side. After applying this algorithm, my ciphertext will be generated. This ciphertext will be moving over the insecure channel. Now the ciphertext is received by the Bob, and the Bob has to apply the decryption algorithm over it. So what is my decryption algorithm if RSA crypto system is applied? So decryption algorithm says that the corresponding plain text can be generated by using the ciphertext that is coming from the insecure channel and C to the power D mod n. What is D here? D is the private key of the Bob, means receiver. Now after applying this algorithm, my plain text will be generated. So RSA crypto system is very simple to understand. Just the encryption algorithm uses C equal to P to the power E mod n, where E is the public key of the Bob, and decryption uses the formula C to the power D mod n, where D is the private key of the Bob. Now, if we analysis that we have used only the Bob's public and private key, there is no need of key which is associated with the Alice. So means we have to apply the key generation algorithm. There should be any key generation algorithm which is responsible for generating the public and private key. ठीक है, हवा में तो आएगा नहीं, कोई algorithm मुझे लगानी पड़ेगी यहाँ पे. So that key generation algorithm is work only on the side of Bob. So what is that my key generation algorithm? So before moving towards, I will state one of the thing that this C equal to P to the power n means encryption algorithm is basically associated with the ring algebraic structure, ring R, where my set of residual Zn, and it is associated with two operations, plus and multiplication. Same thing, the decryption process also associated with same algebraic structure, that is ring, set of residuals Zn, plus and multiplication. But my key generation algorithm is not rendered over the ring algebraic structure. My key generation algorithm AGA belongs to algebraic structure that is called group. And this group is Z phi n, because we are talking about the multiplication, so start and multiplication operation. So why I am taking phi n, that I will illustrate you with the help of algorithm. So what is my key generation algorithm of RSA? So there are certain steps of the key generation algorithm. First, we have to select two large prime numbers. The first one is called small p, ये small p है मेरा, ठीक है, and q. Now this small p and q should not be equal to each other. That is the condition. So my first step is we have to select two large prime numbers p and q, and p must not be equal to or similar to q. My second step says we have to calculate the value of n. So what is my value of n? That is multiplication of two large prime numbers p and q. Now the third one step is we have to calculate Euler function of n, that is phi of n. So as you know, the factor of that n, that is p and q, are prime numbers. So we have to apply the second rule of Euler's theorem, that is p minus 1 into q minus 1. Now it's time to generate the public and private key. So my public is indicated as E, and it should be selected, means public is E must be selected in range from 1 to phi n, because my key generation algorithm belongs to the group Z phi n. So कोई भी मेरा वैल्यू जो इसके अंदर आ रहा है की जनरेशन एल्गोरिथम के अंदर, जो मेरी P और Q, सॉरी E और D मेरी जो की जनरेट हो रही है, उसकी वैल्यू phi n से तो ऊपर हो नहीं सकती, बिकॉज माई सेट ऑफ रेसिड्यूज इज अंडर phi n. So what is the value of my phi n? Phi n is P minus 1 into Q minus 1. So इस मल्टीप्लीकेशन से ज्यादा ऊपर मेरी वैल्यू नहीं हो सकती, नहीं E की नहीं D की. That's why E is greater than 1 and less than phi n. And also it should be co-prime with phi n, means we have to find out the value of in such a way that its value must be under 1 and phi n, and GCD between E and phi n should be equal to 1. So after the calculation of the value of E, my public key is generated. Now it's time to calculate the private key. So private key is indicated by D, and the formula is E inverse mod again phi n, because key generation algorithm belongs to the group, and the group set of residues is phi n star. So that's why I'm taking phi n over there. So E inverse mod phi n. Now the RSA uses public key for the encryption process, and this public key is used by for the encryption process and indicated as a tuple. So this tuple will consist of two values. The first one is E that we have calculated over there, and the second one is N. Because my encryption process says C equal to P to the power E mod N, right? So two things you have to calculate. The first one is N and the second one is E. And E both will be take a equal part in the public key of RSA crypto system in the encryption process. So that's why public is a tuple of two things, E comma N. Second one is the, seventh one is the private key. What is the private key? That is calculated one, D. Encryption process says that P to the power E mod N, and decryption process is C to the power D mod n. So very simple. Just you have to select two prime numbers. Then you have to calculate the value of n, then value of phi n, then you have to calculate the value of E, then D, and that's it. So now one simple example such that you can better understand this algorithm. So just listen properly, otherwise in the next algorithm you will get confused totally. So in the example, I am taking, suppose Alice wants to send a plain text having a value of 2, right? Now the key generation algorithm. Key generation algorithm says, what is the first step? First step was select two large prime numbers. Select two large prime numbers P and Q. But for better understanding, I am using only small prime number. So I am taking a small p equal to 3 and q equal to 11. And my p is not equal to q. What is my second step? Calculate the value of n. So n equal to p into q. 3 into 11, that is 33. Third step was calculate the value of phi n. So p minus 1 and q minus 1. So p minus 1 is 2, q minus 1 is 10, that is 20. Now the fourth one. Fourth one is calculate the value of public key, that is E. And E must be phi n का value है यहाँ पे 20. And also the condition like that GCD of E comma 20 must be equal to 1. Now select from 1 to 20. So E can be means relatively prime होना चाहिए. So E can be 3. ठीक है. It can be 7. It can be 9. It can be 11. It can be 17 and it can be 19. Because we are already taking 3 and 11 as a prime number, so I will not take 3 and 11. Okay, so I am taking 7 as a value. You can take any number, but I am taking 7 as a value. E equal to 7 I am choosing. Now what is my private key? Private key is E inverse mod phi n. What is phi n value? That is 20. So 7 inverse mod 20. So 7 3s are 21. Yes. So 3. So the value of D is 3 and value of E is 7. So in this case, my public key is tuple of two things. What is that? E comma n. So what is the value of E? 7. What is the value of n? That is 33. And private key is D is 3. Now the encryption process. Encryption process is C to the power E mod n. C का value कितना है? Sorry, P to the power E mod n. So Alice want to send P equal to 2. So 2 to the power 7 mod n. What is the value of n? That is 33. So we calculate okay 29. And decryption process is C to the power D mod n. So C का value है 29, D का value है 3 and mod 33. So it is 2. So you can see the ciphertext equivalent process after the decryption is 2 and your plain text is also 2. So this is the RSA crypto system. Now what if my Alice entity wants to send some text message? Suppose P equal to this message no and no. So in this case, you have to convert it into the corresponding tabular values that I depicted in my symmetric cryptography. Okay, so n corresponding value is 13 and O is 14. So now my P becomes 1314. So text message will be converted like this way and apply the same procedure over there. So that is about the RSA crypto system. Now there is one homework regarding the RSA, that you have to analyze the security of RSAs, means what possible attacks can be possible over the RSA. That you have to learn by your own self. Now come towards the second topic, that is called quadratic congruence. So the first was linear congruence, second was prime congruence. Now the topic is quadratic congruence. So quadratic congruence is used to solve this type of equation having the square value. So in this equation, we have to assume that my a1 equal to 0 and my a2 equal to 1. So my equation can be like that, like x squared congruence property a mod n. Now suppose, so I'm directly starting with the question because अभी theory समझाने का time नहीं है. So x square congruence property 3 mod 11, and you have to find out the value of x over there. What is the possible solution of x? ठीक है. So you can analysis over this part that अगर आप यहाँ पे square root करते हो then there will be two possible answers. ठीक है. One possible answer is what? Plus value, and the second one is the negative value. That we have to take care. So means there are two solutions. And how can we find out the solution? X square congruence property 3 mod 11. It can be written like that, x square mod 11, because congruence है, so left hand side operation can be applied over the right hand side and right hand side operation can be applied over the left hand side. So x square mod 11 congruence property 3 mod 11. Now x square mod 11 congruence property 3, we can write like that. Now we have to calculate the value of x in such a way that after performing the square operation over the value of x with following the modulo operation, my answer should be 3. क्या बोला मैंने? मैंने बोला we have to select x value in such a way that after squaring it and apply modulo, answer should be 3. So suppose if I am selecting, अब चलो suppose छोड़ते हैं, यहाँ पे 11 है. So what is my set of residue? That is z of 11, right? What is my possible elements? That is, if I am mitigating the zero value, then it will be 1 to 10. So now we have to select x value from the range 1 to 10 in such a way that after squaring that number and apply the mod 11, the answer should be 3, right? So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So 1, if I'm selecting x equal to 1, so it is 1 square mod 11. So answer is 3 or not? No. Now check for 2. So 2 square mod 11 means 4 mod 11. Answer is 1 or not? Sorry, 3 or not? No. X equal to 3. 3 square mod 11. So 9 mod 11. Answer is 3 or not? No. X equal to 4. 4 square mod 11. Kitta hua? 16 mod 11 means 5. Answer is 3 or not? No. X equal to 5. So 5 square mod 11 means 25 mod 11. Answer is equal to 3 or not? Yes, answer is equal to 3. So we can say x equal to 5 is the possible solution. Because I am talking x square, then there can be two possible outcomes, plus and minus. So there are two solutions. What is first solution? The first solution will be x 5 mod 11 plus value, and the second one is minus 5 mod 11. So we can say plus 5 mod 11, and the another one is 6 mod 11. So these are the two solutions of this type of equation, x square congruence property 3 mod 11. Now it is a very large and time consuming process, because we have to check all of the values from the set of residues and perform the square, then perform the modulo operation, and it is a hit and trial method. So one by one we have to test. So for that there is a one shortcut. So what is that shortcut? The shortcut says Euler's criterion. So Euler's criterion says two rules. The first rule is if a to the power p minus 1 divided by 2 congruence 1 mod p, then we can say a is in the quadratic residue. If a to the power p minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1 mod p, then a is in non-quadratic residue. Now, what is my quadratic residue and what is my non-quadratic residue? Actually, this type of equation, that is x square mod 11 3. There is some drawback of the touchscreen laptop. So what I'm trying to say. So what is quadratic residual set and what is non-quadratic residual set? So this type of equation, that is x square mod 11 congruent property 3, if there is existence of solution, that in this case there is exist of solution, but what about that case? x square congruent property to mod 11. Means you have to find out the value of x in such a way that after performing the square value and modulo operation, the answer should be 2. And this value must be lie between 1 to 10. So if you find out there is no such a value which is ranging from 1 to 10. So there is no solution possible in that case. That is x square congruence property 2 mod 11. There is no solution direct. There is no solution. So this type of condition, when there is a solution exists, then we can say that this type of equation means A, जो कि आपका A आया है यहाँ पे 5, ठीक है? It comes under the quadratic residue, ठीक है? If solution is not exist, then we can say it lies over the non-quadratic residue set of equations. So Ural's theorem gives a shortcut that instead of performing hit and trial, you can apply this formula in order to judge whether it lies over the quadratic set of residues or non-quadratic set of residues. So just test over it. So what was my previous example? My previous example says x square 3 mod 11. So what is my p value? P value is 11. What is my a value? A value is 3. Now test. A to the power p minus 1 divided by 2. So a to the power p minus 1 divided by 2 mod p, we have to check. The answer of this equation quadratic है ना, sorry, congruence है ना, तो 1 mod p मेरा इधर भी apply हो सकता है, mod p इधर भी हो सकता है, इधर भी हो सकता है. So this equation 3 to the power p minus 1 divided by 2 mod p, the answer is equal to 1 or not? Is equal to 1 or not? Test it. So 3 to the power 11 minus 1 divided by 2 कितना हुआ? That is 3 to the power 5 mod 11. Now solve it. 3 and 3 to the power 4 mod 11. It is 3 into 4 mod 11. And it is 12 mod 11. So yes, it is equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, then we can say this A value will lies over the quadratic residue set. Now check for the second equation, x square 2 mod 11. So A value is 2, P value is 11. What is equation? Equation is A to the power P minus 1 divided by 2 mod P is equal to 1 or not. So 2 to the power 5 mod 11. So it is comes around 32 mod 11 and the answer is 10, I think. It is not equal to 1. So that's why Q belonging to non-quadratic set of residue. Okay, so instead of giving hit and trial process, you can apply this Euler's theorem formula over there in order to know that my set of solutions, sorry, my set of equations will fall under the quadratic residue or non-quadratic residue. Now, what are the possible solutions? So Euler's ने थोड़ा सा और इसको elaborate किया कि इससे तो हमें ये पता चल रहा है क्या solution है या solution नहीं है. If it in the case, what are the possible solutions? To find out the solutions, there is one small formula that is called the special case of Euler's theorem. So special case of Euler's theorem says that if my prime number, that is modulo p, prime number is in the form of 4k plus 3, where k is any integer. If it is true, then first you have to apply the Euler criterion. to judge whether the solution is possible or not. And once it is found that the solution is possible, then you have to apply one formula, x equal to a to the power p plus 1 divided by 4 mod p. This is for plus value, and for the negative value p plus 1 divided by 4 mod p. Okay? So these are the direct solutions. Now example. Suppose example says x square 3 mod 23. So first check it is in the form of p equal to 4k plus 3 or not. So my p value is 3, right? Now check p equal to 4k plus 3. So if I am putting the value of k equal to 5, then it is equal to 23. So yes, I can use the Euler's theorem, special case of Euler's theorem. So in that case, first you have to check there is a solution possible or not. So for the solution possible, we have to a to the power p plus 1 divided by 2, sorry, p minus 1 divided by 2, and mod p, we have to check this value is equal to 1 or not. Okay. So what is the value of a? 3. p का value 23 minus 1 divided by 2 and mod 23. तो इसको सॉल्व करोगे तो आपका आंसर यहाँ पे आएगा 3 to the power 11 mod 23. अरे सॉरी, क्या हो रहा है? 3 to the power 11 mod 23, और इसको जब सॉल्व करोगी तो इसका आंसर आएगा आपका 1 आएगा. आप चेक करना, ठीक है. नाउ if it is the case, then you have to find out the solution. So what is my solution? Solution is this one and this one. So first solution is plus a 3 to the power 23 plus 1 divided by 4 and mod 23. So it is 3 to the power 6 mod 23 and 729 mod 23, and it is 16. So the answer is 2. The first one is 16 mod 23 and the another answer is minus 16 mod 23. So this is a shortcut value. You do not need to try hit and try method. Now question is to you for the homework. You have to find out x square 7 mod 19. There is a quadratic set of residue or non-quadratic set of residue. If it is quadratic set of residue, then find out its solutions. Now with the continuation of that quadratic equations, I will illustrate one more thing that is called composite prime. So in the composite prime theory, my modulo operation, that is mod n, or you can say mod p. So this mod n is made up of the multiplication of the prime numbers, like n equal to p into q. So that is called composite primes. If it is the case, my equation can be like a mod n, where n equal to p into q. So in this case, my equation can be like that: x square a1 mod p, x square a2 mod q. So like the distributive property, we have to solve this type of equation. So just it is a theory, and the application of this composite prime theory will be applicable over the Raven crypto system. Because there are some drawbacks regarding the RSA security that you will complete if you do the homework that I given to you. The Raven crypto system. So this is my Alice. Alice want to send one message to Bob. So this is a plain text that Alice want to send. So because it is an insecure channel, we have to use the asymmetric key cryptography. So encryption process of the asymmetric cryptography says that algorithm must be applied over the equation that is C equal to P square mod n. So instead of E, I am using only the square. So P square mod n. Now my ciphertext will be created and it will be going over the insecure channel. So from this insecure channel, when my ciphertext is received by the Bob, then instead of using one algorithm of the decryption, it has to apply the quadratic residue. From this quadratic residue, 4 plain text will be generated, P1, P2, P3 and P4. Now it's up to the Bob only that he should select the correct plain text value. So the accurate algorithm of judging the correct plain text value is not depicted by the Rabin scientist. Rabin scientist says that Bob has to select the value over the hit and trial process. So sometimes he can be select a correct plain text value and sometimes they not. So it is very secure that the Eve attacker sitting on the middle is not able to find out the correct plain text because there are 4 possible plain texts generated at the decryption site. So you can say this is one of the drawback and one of the advantage of the Rabin crypto system. And that's why due to this nature, Rabin crypto system is not deterministic. Now there is no need of public key over there because P square mod n, okay? But we have to find out the value of n. And n is made up of 2 integers, 2 prime numbers, that is P and Q. Means there is a need of key generation algorithm. So what is the key generation algorithm over the Rabin crypto system that we have to see? So key generation algorithm says the same thing, that we have to select 2 large prime numbers, select P and Q prime numbers, but the condition is this prime number is of the form 4k plus 3 and P is not equal to Q. Second one, you have to calculate the value of n, that is P into Q, and my public key will be only one tuple, that is n, and my private key is P comma Q. Simple. Encryption process that you have to apply, that is P square mod n, and my decryption process is a very lengthy procedure. So what is the decryption process of Rabin crypto system? So as you know, this value of n is made up of multiplication of 2 prime numbers. Means if you apply mod n, then it will be the case of composite prime. Okay? And my encryption process says C equal to P square mod n. So means the value of C having 2 categories, that is plus value and the minus value. So in that case, the decryption equations, 4 type of decryption equations can be illustrated. The first one is A1. A1 says plus value of ciphertext, right? And P plus 1 divided by 4 mod P. ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? P plus 1 divided by 4 mod P, Euler's criterion से. First Euler criterion check, we have to P and Q of the form of 4k plus 3. If it is the case 4k plus 3, then my solution is ऐसे था ना a to the power p plus 1 divided by 4 mod p. The same equation you have to apply over there. So this is for the plus value and this is for the negative value. Now this is about the first prime number, that is p, because I'm talking about the composite primes. Now it is turn for the q value. So q value is denoted by b1. So plus value p plus 1 divided by 4 mod q. Sorry, यहाँ पे q आएगा. Yes. b2 negative value q plus 1 divided by 4 mod q. So these are the four equations. Now how can we solve these four equations? We have to make the pair. Okay. So first pair will be a1 b1. Second pair will be a1 b2. Third pair will be a2 b1. And the last pair will be a2 b2. So these are my four pairs. From these four pairs, my four plain text P1, P2, P3 and P4 will be generated. How can be generated? Apply the Chinese remainder theorem individually on the pairs. ये दो इक्वेशन आएंगी ना a1 और b1 की, इससे a1 और b1 की दो इक्वेशन आएंगी, हमें उस पर लगाना है चाइनीज रिमाइंडर थ्योरम. Then after applying the Chinese remainder theorem, P1 value you will get. By the same procedure you have to follow and find out P1, P2, P3 and P4 value. Out of this P1, P2 and P3 value, only one will be correct. So Bob has to do the hit and trial procedure over there. Sometimes he will get the wrong choice, sometimes he will select the accurate choice. Example. Now Alice wants to send a plain text value having a value of 24. The value of a small p, that's prime number, for the key generation algorithm, the p value is 23 and the q value is 7. Now first check it is in the form of 4k plus 3 or not. So if we select the value of 5, k equal to 5, then ये इसके form में आ रहा है, yes. In this case, if I am selecting k equal to 1, then it is the q value is in the form of 4k plus 3. So yes, we can proceed. So what is my key generation algorithm? In the key generation algorithm, we already selected the value of p and q. Now we have to calculate n equal to p into q. So that is 23 into 7 and 161. Okay, so public key is equal to n and private key is p comma q, that is 23 and 7. Encryption process is very simple. Ciphertext will be generated by squaring of the plaintext value and apply the mod operation. So the plaintext is 24. So 24 square mod n. What is the value of n? That is 161. And it is come out to be 93. Now the decryption process is complex. So at the decryption process, value of A1 plus value ciphertext value to the power p plus 1, that is 23 plus 1 divided by 4 mod p, that is 23. A2 is the negative value of the upper one, that is 23 plus 1 divided by 4 mod 23. B1 is the plus value of ciphertext but having different modulo, that is 7 plus 1 divided by 4 mod 23. And B2 is negative value 7 plus 1 divided by 4 mod 23. Now set 1. So what is my set 1? Set 1 is A1 and B1. So what is my A1 value? That is 93. अगर आप इसको solve करोगे तो ये आएगा 24 and 6. 93 to the power 6 mod 23. So I'm taking as a P1. ठीक है? P1 variable because I have to apply the Chinese remainder theorem and the outcome of the set 1 that is A1 B1 will be P1. यहाँ देखो यहाँ लिखा भी है मैंने ऊपर. A1 B1 whatever the outcome will be generated after applying the Chinese remainder theorem it will be P1. So I am storing the result in the P1 variable. What is my value of B1? B1 is 93 and let's go to 93 to the power 2 and mod 7. So apply the Chinese remainder theorem over there. So because my time is khatam, so that's why I will not proceed further. So in the next lecture, I will depict you the complete example. So the concept is only that these are the key generation algorithm, these are the encryption procedure, and these are the decryption algorithm. So you already know about the Chinese remainder theorem that I depicted you in the last class. So just apply it and find out the solution. Okay. So there are two solutions. For the set 1, there will be P1. For the set 2, there will be P2 solution, set 3, P3 solution, set 4, P4 solution. The 4 solution you will get, and out of that 4 solution, only one will be correct. So the remaining part I will cover in the next class. So I'm enabling the chat if you have any doubts. You can illustrate that. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting. Yeah, as the chat is enabled. If you have any doubts on the today's class, you can mention me. I will repeat the topic. अभी रिपीट करूंगी तो अभी बता दो. कौन से टॉपिक में सिद्धार्थ? आरएसए में, रैबिट में? इन दैट इक्वेशन इट्स रॉबिन नहीं है, इट्स रैबिन है. इन दैट इक्वेशन यहाँ बहुत सारे इक्वेशन है, कौन सी इक्वेशन बोल रहे हो? 1 second. Do I need to scroll up or I have to remain as it is on the whatever the depicted by the screen? roll up. Okay. हाँ, यहाँ पे नीचे या ऊपर? यहाँ पे 1 सेकेंड। अच्छा, यहाँ पे so Alice wants to send p equal to 24। अच्छा, तुम ये कह रहे हो कि 7 कैसे चूज किया यहाँ पे, ये पूछ रहे हो? हाँ, so it is one of the example. You can take any prime number. So for the real time example, p and q must be large prime numbers. So just like in the RSA system, in the RSA one, suppose in generally RSA and the Raven crypto system, p and q, ये पॉइंट में बताना भूल गए, अच्छा याद दिलाया, p and q must be at least of 512 bits, and your n value must be at least 1024 bits. So for the understanding point of view, I am taking this example only, the small example in which I am taking only the small prime numbers like 23 and 7. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे q का वैल्यू 3 तो चल नहीं सकता because it is not in the form of 4k plus 3। अगर हम k का वैल्यू 0 लेंगे तो जरूर चल सकता है, ठीक है, और k का वैल्यू मुझे 0 नहीं लेना है, k का वैल्यू मुझे 1 से ही लेना है। सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम यूजिंग 4k plus 3, तो 7 यहाँ पे आ रहा है, मिनिमम 7 आ रहा है क्योंकि k का वैल्यू मेरा 1 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है। तो यू कैन टेक एनीथिंग, लाइक अगर तुम 19 लेना चाहो तो तुम 19 भी ले सकते हो क्योंकि वैल्यू। हाँ, एनीथिंग एल्स? ओके, ओके, थैंक यू गाइस फॉर लिसनिंग माय